Congressman, let me switch gears, get your reaction to the news overnight, and that is the president's travel ban. A federal judge in Hawaii is ruling that grandparents and other relatives should be exempt from the ban, which bars people from 6 Muslim countries from coming into the U.S. More specifically, this decision means that grandparents, grandchildren, brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and cousins of those people in the U.S. now count as sufficiently close relationships to gain entry into the country. Do you agree with this? What do you make of the ruling?
So that's an Obama-appointed judge. His ruling initially on this basically was struck out by the Supreme Court when they stayed what they did. I think that this bona fide relationship that Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch dissented from, and they pointed out that this is not something that's really in the law. It's going to be difficult to administer. So I think they were right about that. I think the Supreme Court gave this window for liberal judges like this guy in Hawaii to drive a truck through. And the bottom line is he's not doing law. He's basically doing politics. He feels that cousins and second cousins and in-laws should be allowed to come in, even though the president's order says no. And to me, it's a policy issue that's important, but even more important is who should be making these decisions. Do we want the commander-in-chief with the authority from the Congress, the political branches who are accountable to the American people, or do we want some unelected judge making these determinations without really any basis in law? He's just asserting that this is the case. So I think it was a bad decision. I think it may end up getting revisited in the meantime by the Supreme Court or certainly higher courts, but I think ultimately what the Hawaii judge did will not be upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court.
All right, Congressman, real quick on taxes. Is there conversations happening right now in terms of tax reform? Are you looking forward? Is there going to be as much debate on the tax package as there has been on health care?
So the goal is to get on the same page, and so things that I've been warning against, like a border adjustment tax, those seem to be waning, and I think we're going to move beyond things like that and hopefully have a consensus of principles. Let's start legislating this very soon, and I want to be debating and voting on this when we get back in September.
All right, we'll be watching. Congressman, good to see you, sir. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Ron DeSantis joining us there in Washington.